Morning. So I've gone old-fashioned. I've scribbled some notes. I know we are talking about AI, but I still, get the thrill of, noting down things on a paper. Nothing beats that. But good morning to everyone. It's an honor to be here and talking about, digital-first AI-enabled bank. Uh, it's been 3 or 4 years of breakneck innovation, like Sanjeev sir said, right? Innovation cannot be done by one person. We at Lloyds Bank and at LTC or Lloyds, sorry, thank you so much. Is this better? Okay. Oh, thank you. Two things. So it's a privilege to be here because we wanted, we are a platinum sponsor here, but honestly, more than that, we wanted to share what we've been doing at the forefront of, enabling the bank, whether it is AI, whether it is digital assets, whether it is our cloud transformation. It's been phenomenal 2-3 years at the bank, and we thought, it will be a good idea to share this story with all of you. My talk today is titled Crystal Gazing. I didn't know that, it always brings to me in mind, someone, an oracle sitting and talking about what the future looks like. But it's no longer crystal gazing. Some of the things that, will be in the slides and some of the things that you might have heard, and I'm sure, all of you are innovators, leaders in your industry. The Gen AI revolution, which came in about 2022, right? Started talking about, so the boundaries have been blurring, whether it is agentic AI, whether it is agents, and Lloyds has been at the forefront. The Lloyds Technology Center, with my colleagues over here, have been at the forefront of driving some of these innovation for the customers. Even though we are a UK-centric bank, the innovation is driven from the teams here based out of Hyderabad. And when we started 2 or 3 years back, Sirisha Varuganti, who's our CEO, was very, very clear that the teams here will be at the forefront of driving what we said, data and AI capabilities for the bank. We've got senior leaders, who came together with all our CIOs and CEOs back in UK. And, we set upon an ambitious target. What we started looking at is banking as we know today for decades is changing. It's dissolving. What will replace it is invisible, connected, insight-driven, and profoundly purposeful. And those are the couple of thoughts that we put together and, some of the slides, and I'm not going to drain the slides here. I'll try to share some of our experience. So, AI doesn't work. Senthil, if you can, please see if you can control that. Sorry. So, Lloyds Bank in UK is the biggest retail bank in the UK market. It serves about 26 million customers, which is about 60 or 50% of the entire population. As leaders, we've been asked to look at, what 2030 would look like from a banking perspective. And as Sanjeev said, right, it is not about changing one department, one function. We have to look at what the customer view is going to be in 2030. So when we started looking at that, right, we said, hey, banking no longer exists in a branch. Banking no longer exists on a mobile. Banking no longer exists on web. Banking will be in the omniverse. What does that mean? It means that banking becomes ambient. Not a destination, not a branch, not a mobile app, but an ever-present digital companion. In this banking omniverse, We said, some of the foundations would be that identities are secure, channels will converge, data flows seamlessly, and interactions become frictionless. This is not a theoretical vision anymore. This is real. And at Lloyd's, we are already building platforms where physical, digital, and intelligent ecosystems are merging at a very, very rapid scale. We have data platforms which help us bring hyper-personalized mobile journeys to conversational AI pilots. So this vision is well underway, and I'll try to share some of the real use cases that we've already implemented for our customers. They're already live there. And the importance of data, AI, is well evident when Charlie Nunn, who's the CEO of Lloyd's Bank, and Ron Van Kemenade, who's the group CIO, they actually held an investor summit about 6 weeks back, right? And this is the CEO and the CIO talking to investors about the power of data and AI and how Lloyd's Bank has created the foundations to leapfrog some of the competitions that we have, right? If someone is, has worked in the UK or the US market, whether it is the fintechs, whether it is the neobanks, the competition is coming at, at the customers very, very hard. So we have set out an ambitious transformational journey. They talked and shared those stories, and it resonated very, very well because, the investors could see the work that is being done is translating into top-line growth as well. So one of the foundations that we talked about, at the summit was data. We have embarked ourselves on a massive data modernization journey. One of my colleagues here, Karthik, he's driving the entire data strategy for one of the BUs. And if you remember, right, Mukesh Ambani said, data is the new oil. We have added one more statement. Data is the new oil, and AI is the new rare earth, right? It exists, but no one is mining it. And we think we are in a very, very good position to mine it. So, Sanjeev, that's my contribution to that line. But look, the next decade, 26, 22, the next decade will be rewritten by data. It is no longer a support function, right? It's not a database or a data warehouse anymore. The data meshes that we are creating, they are going to be the primary driver for enterprise value. Some of the global examples that, slides not come in yet, Senthil? Yeah? 2 minutes? Okay, thanks, sorry. Some of the examples from data perspective, you must already experience it day to day, right? Netflix. Netflix is a very classic example of how AI-based content prediction is, adding 1 billion to their revenue. That's a real live example of how data is being used. Vehicle data creating entirely new markets in energy and autonomous ecosystem. Some of the examples Sanjeev gave, right, around properties, I'm sure the data already exists, right? What is it? So you must be looking at municipal, plans to look at what is unauthorized, what is. So the core of all of it is data, right? If you do, we might talk about, how AI and agents will make a difference, but if your data platforms are not in a good shape, this will not work for any enterprise that we have. So the core work that we have been doing at Lloyd's for the past 2 years was to look at how we modernize our data platforms. And I think one of the significant outcomes of this journey has been 70% of our data is already on cloud. We're working on the 30% rest, but 70% is already on cloud. And we'll talk about, what this means for not only AI, but, how it helps in making insightful decisions for some of our relationship managers, marketing colleagues that we have. One of the things we definitely know, and, one of our key outcomes is that by 2030, 70% of our enterprise value will be determined by the strength of data ecosystems and the speed at which insights can be generated, right? and how this can be monetized to generate value. One of the programs I'm leading is already, generating some value where we are providing anonymized data insights to some of our business customers. So say I am a Starbucks, right? I want to come and open a cafe in Mindspace, right? Now, Lloyd's Bank, has a lot of retail data, right? So if you all are customers, there are other, cafes or, restaurants around, you'll be swiping your card or UPIs. That gives insights about the volume, the demographic of the customers, right? This can be anonymized and provided to, your business banking customers to say, hey, what are the trends, right? So if you want to open a, cafe here, it will give you deep insights about, what is the competition going to look like, right? What are the volumes you could expect, and so on and so on. So again, some of these things have been monetized. This is just the start of, how we. Thank you. This is, just the start of how we think data can be leveraged, right? And we are augmenting, the data platforms that we are building with a lot of Gen AI tools. We have built our own proprietary platform called Cortex AI, which looks at providing insights, to our marketing, to our finance, to our colleagues on the HR side, and it is already helping them build that knowledge management database, which is the start of, how we are looking at leveraging data within the firm itself. If you can move on, please. Okay, stay here, that's okay. So one of the trends that, we have been working from a strategy perspective is how the economy is changing, right? So if we are in the business of banking, right, you have to look at, what your customer is going to behave like in the next 5 years, but also with a lot of changes in the way customer is behaving, the expectations from, the changes in the economy, whether it is macro, whether it is micro. We are looking at a significant change where the economy is changing from capital intensive to intelligence driven economies. What does that mean? Historically, right? Whether it is in India, whether it is, in any other geographies, banks have always scaled through branches, people and operations, right? We're still doing it in India. SBI and HDFC have been massively investing in, expanding their branches, in tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. But in the UK, we have started looking at how our customers no longer want to walk into a branch. Yeah, we are looking at. So I was about 8 weeks back. We met a bunch of our customers, right? And it was truly insightful about some of the discussions that we had with them about. They already knew, how to use Copilot or ChatGPT, right? They did their own research about where to invest, how to invest. And one of the insights that, we got to them was, we expect our banks, to provide this rather than, doing our own research, right? So the expectation is that the customers are looking at the banks to provide them. And the answer, let me summarize in one line, right? They said, help us make money. This is the business banking customer. Very clear, help us make money. That is what we expect from the banks. So we are looking at, scaling our operations through algorithms, automation, APIs, and precision decisioning. This transition from experience-based decisions to evidence-based decisions is a great economic divide of our time. And it's something that we are trying to bridge, getting the right data in place so that, we are removing some of the biases that have been existing in our experience-based decision. So one of the things that we've been doing is, how do you look at ethnicity? Is ethnicity something that lights that help bank make a decision, right? You want to remove those biases. So that's just one example of how we are going and looking at evidence-based decisions. Companies with high data maturity are already seeing 3x to 5x market cap growth over traditional peers. It certainly is evident with some of the neobanks that we have been, that have posed challenge to some of the traditional banks like Lloyd's. At Lloyd's Banking Group, this is at the heart of our ambition, making sure that we modernize our data platforms because our ambition is super, super high, which is to become the UK's largest digital bank and the biggest fintech in the next 5 years. Next slide, please. Cool. So we talked about intelligence-led banking. I call this, it's called the wheel of learning that we said we are going to use, right? It starts from sense. Do I have the data capture real time across all my touch points? Sorry, it was not working. Yeah, see, it is now. Thank you. Yeah, so it starts from sense. Have I captured all the data at various touch points and can I bring it together, right? The next step is predict. Can I use AI-driven or machine learning for forecasting and pattern recognition? The next step is what we call decide. Can I, right now, have automated decisioning with some human in the loop? Then, act on that, right? Instant execution across the systems. And then the next step is learn. So once you do all this, am I getting continuous feedback from my integration, which will then help me optimize, right? So if you look at this whole wheel, it starts from sense to optimize and it continues, right? What this helps us do is get the right data insights. It helps us in structured learning. It helps us in getting unstructured learning together. And as I said, one of the examples that I gave around providing data insights has helped us monetize. We are also offering what we call FX hedging insights to some of our customers based on, again, whether they are dealing with, let's say, FX currency and what is the predictive FX rates based on some of the spot rates that we have looked at over the past 6 months. This is helping customers save a lot of money as well. So these are all real examples where we have started monetizing some of our data as well. I think it goes this way. Sorry. So look, our investments into data are already leading to a lot of value to our customers. One of the examples that I can also give is on the retail side. We have provided something called as spending insights. Again, if anyone is using ICICI Bank, right, it does provide you some spending insights. But Lloyd's Bank has gone ahead and provided deep spending insights to our customers, right? It helps them understand what is the cash flow going to look like in the next 3 months. It helps them understand what is the, what is their mortgage rates, if it can be optimized. So by providing the spending insights, we've already we have already got customers converting their mortgages to a lower rate mortgage, which has led to 15% growth in our mortgage loan book itself. So these spending insights is helping our customers look at how they optimize their cash flows, how they get nudges based on some of the rate changes that are coming. Can they move on to, let's say, a different liquidity account and so on. So again, good examples of how data can be used. Our mobile app is already has an embedded agentic AI built in. It provides nudges based on a billing, a bill that needs to be paid. And these are all real-time agents, agentic insights that are provided. So again, Lloyds has done a lot of investment on the data front, and that has helped us now scale up on the agentic AI promises as well. So the approach that we have taken was not to look at how things are operating right now. If you do that, it will still be the old manual way, the analog way of working, right? We have gone ahead, we have looked at what is our entire operating model. So we have reimagined our operating model from, transforming from our traditional analyze, decide, act to sense, predict, decide, act, learn, optimize, the cycle that I talked about. We have started building decision intelligence, so employ the data fabric that I mentioned. Enable ecosystem collaborations. One of the things that we have started also doing, and I think that's something that is going to be a big, if I can say a thing in the future, is how you work with your ecosystem. So some of our partnerships with our fintechs, I'll give an example where we have a fintech collaboration with a company which helps us get accounting data for their customers, of course with their consent, and that data is ingested within the Lloyds ecosystem. That helps us get insights about, again, the patterns of spend, if they are banking with some other banks, and helps us offer competitive products to them. So this ecosystem collaboration that we are talking about, we see a huge uptick in the next few years, where data becomes a marketplace, right? So we have to be open for partnerships and multi-company intelligence sharing. Deploy AI co-pilots. As I mentioned, we've already done that. Embed intelligent assistants in every function. One of the examples I can give around this is something that my team developed. So our relationship managers work with our customers on offering what we call commercial loan products. Yeah. So for any loan, there's a collateral. Yeah. For a collateral, there are something called as tenancy documents that used to be manually scanned by our relationship managers, right? So if I have 10 properties, if I go to a bank for a loan, the relationship manager would look at, all these 10 documents, right? What we have done using AI was used RAG, retrieval augmentation, to scan through the documents, look at the tenancy schedules, and provide that insight about, what is the collateral scoring going to be, which used to take about 4 days before we implemented this solution. It now takes 5 days. It now takes 5 minutes. This helps us free up a lot of valuable relationship manager time and helps them focus on what they do best, which is selling to the customer, right? So we have already looked at how we deploy this agent around tenancy schedules to the customers. So I think with that, what I wanted to close this session is this change that we are talking about cannot be done by an individual, like Sanjeev said. At Lloyds, we are approaching this top-down, bottom-up. We have started training all our employees, all 66,000 of them, on AI. There's an AI academy which has been rolled out. And I mean everyone, whether you are in an HR function or a finance function or engineering, all 66,000 employees will be trained on by this AI academy. We have top 300 of our SLT who have gone to a Cambridge course on AI, right? So any enterprise can embark on this change, but the effort has to be done by everyone. You cannot expect that only one person or one entity or engineering will be driving such a huge transformation that we are talking about. So Lloyd's, and I'm sure any bank who starts reimagining some of their customer journeys end-to-end, how data and AI can be used, is well positioned, because we have seen that by leveraging the right data and AI expertise, we are projecting a 3x market cap growth for any bank which can optimize the use of data and AI. So with that, I'm going to thank again all of you. I think with some of the challenges, unfortunately, the slides were not there, but I am happy to share, at a later stage with anyone who wants to get these slides. And I'm going to be here. My colleagues from Lloyd's Technology Center are here. They have all been deeply, deeply involved in some of the transformation that we talked about, and we are more than happy to share some of our stories. So thank you again.
Sir, I would request you to please stay on stage. We would really like to felicitate you. And for that, I would like to call upon Sudhanshu sir to felicitate Mr. Jain for his wonderful insights and how AI is doing the work. And they are implementing it so deeply. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insights.